As you know, I had my vaccine at about 8:30. No, can't find my book. Anaesthetist. Hi everyone and welcome back to The Books Are Everywhere. So welcome back to another weekly reading vlog. My original plan was to only do these for whatever-thon, but I've been really enjoying doing them. And yeah, I just thought I'd carry on. I hope this is something of interest to you. Please let me know if it is or if it isn't. But yeah, I kind of decided this at a bad time because I have a bit of a life update. Today is actually Tuesday. Part of the reason for that is because I got a new job. Not a new job to replace my old job, just a second job. I only work part-time at Waterstones as a bookseller and I'm not about to give that up. I absolutely love my job at Waterstones, but I don't have many hours and I have been offered a second job as a vegan baker for a local company near where my boyfriend lives. So I have taken that job on top of my other job as a Waterstones bookseller. It's very, very exciting. It means that my life is about to get a little bit busier. Both of these jobs are part-time, so my hours from both of them will basically equal kind of full-time hours depending on the week. I am also a university student with another year to go, and hopefully I will be able to also finish my final year while doing these jobs. But yeah, it basically doesn't mean anything for the channel or anything, it just means that my life's about to get a bit busier and is getting a bit busier now. So I'm not exactly sure what that's going to mean for my reading and for things like that. I still want to carry on making 2 videos a week. It just might mean that things don't exactly get done on days that I expect them to get done or I can get them done on, and I'll probably have a little bit more pressure because of that. I really don't want to put pressure more on myself and make anything a chore that isn't a chore, such as the YouTube stuff and my blog. So it might just mean not that I'll be around less, but the vlogs might be a bit shorter, my videos might be a bit shorter, and also they might not go up on any set days. They don't anyway. I tend to try and keep to Wednesday and Saturday, but I've never kind of announced that or said that that was my plan, so it doesn't really matter too much. I'm just not going to keep to any set days. I'm just going to try and carry on getting 2 videos up a week at least for you. And that's kind of it. It's not really going to change anything else. But yeah, it's kind of really exciting news that hopefully won't change too much. I just expect that I'll be reading maybe a little bit less. But on to the reading. It is the second to last day of Whatever You Want-a-thon, which has been hosted by Maddie at Book Browsing Blog. I'll probably do a bit of a wrap-up of what I've read in this vlog for the month, and also I will do my monthly wrap-up as well, which will be focused around whatever-thon mostly, because most of the books that I've read have been because I chose 1 book for every prompt for Whatever You Want-a-thon. There was 15 prompts and I'm nearly there. I just finished Cinderella is Dead, which I think I chose for POC rep, and I really, really enjoyed this one. This is like a retelling of Cinderella in a world where, kind of inspired by Cinderella's story, they have a thing every year, like an annual ball in which the women go to like a ball and then men choose to take their hand in marriage. This is a very male dominated time. This is a fantasy world, of course, and is told from the perspective of Sophia, who is a gay girl in this world. Obviously that is not accepted, and she is just trying to battle for the greater good. She's trying to battle for a better world for herself and other women around her, and yeah, this was really fast-paced, which was what I needed, and I really, really enjoyed the writing, and I really liked Sophia as a main character. This Poison Heart by Kaylin Bayron has just come out, and that is a Secret Garden retelling, so I'm very excited to pick that one up as well because I would really recommend this one. I'll probably give it 4 or 4.5 out of 5 stars. And then I'm kind of between books at the moment because I'm literally just about to start Circe by Madeline Miller. I want to finish this by tomorrow because I am reading this as part of Whatever You Want-a-thon. This was for the host favourite prompt, so it is also something I chose to be part of my TBR at the start of the month. So it's kind of critical in my mind obviously it's not, it doesn't affect anything, but I really want to read this one by the end of the month, so I have tonight and tomorrow, and I haven't started it yet. I'm about to start it. It's not that long, but the text is quite small, and I think it's quite dense, and I'm not used to reading fiction, like adult fiction, so we're gonna see how I go with that. I also have to work tomorrow at the bookshop, but I'm going to try and read a lot of this now because I have most of the evening ahead of me, so I'm going to have a bath and read whatever I can of this and try and get around halfway through it by tonight, and then have another 150-ish pages to read tomorrow. So I'll probably update you tomorrow with how I'm getting on with that, and maybe you'll see me stressing about trying to finish this book by the end of tomorrow night. We will see. I hope I can do it. I think I can do it, but we will find out. Hi and welcome to Wednesday. This is a bit weird because I've already actually recorded this clip already and my phone froze about halfway through, and I didn't really realise, and it just like shut off and has deleted the video. So we're back with my cup of tea and we're gonna do another chill update, although I'm slightly more stressed than I was because of my phone doing that to me. But anyway, I've been at work again today. I've been in the bookshop and it's been really nice and chill. Had a nice day, doing some window displays, doing some delivery, and yeah, it's just been really nice, so I'm glad. And I also got vaccinated today, which I was way too excited about. I did book my appointment a couple of weeks ago, and weirdly this was the first day that they could give me, on the last day of June, but very glad I've had my first jab. Everybody in England, all adults in England, can get their first doses now of the COVID vaccine. So please go and book your vaccine. I literally did not feel it. My arm still feels fine right now. I had the BioNTech Pfizer vaccine, and yeah, it was literally absolutely no time allowed to kind of hype yourself up or anything. It was just over so quickly. There's no time to worry about it. He just stuck it in my arm. I hardly felt it. I literally just felt a tiny little prick and that was it. So yeah, I would recommend go and get your vaccine. You don't feel a thing. It's really painless and the staff were really nice as well. I was one of the last of the day and I managed to get there a bit earlier so they could leave earlier, and yeah, the staff were really nice and helpful. So yeah, I had a really good experience getting my first dose. I don't get my second till September, but I'm glad I've at least had my first. So I have a bit of a reading update for you. I am still reading Circe. It's taking me a while to get through this. I'm about halfway through. I read 120 pages last night, and then I've read another 50 pages today, and I still have about 160 to go. I still am determined to finish this tonight, but we will see. I really want to. It's the last day of the month. It's the last day of whatever-a-thon. But this one is quite slow. I'm finding it quite slow and quite dense. The writing is very kind of sprawling. Some of the scenes I'm finding really vivid, and then others I just struggle to take in at all. It kind of reminds me of Wuthering Heights. It's a similar experience to what I had with Wuthering Heights, where some scenes would be really enjoyable, really vivid, and I'd be like, oh, I'm really enjoying this, and then other scenes I would just completely zone out for, and I don't really know why, if it's a thing with me or if it's a thing with the book or the writing. But yeah, I'm finding this quite slow, which is really not what I need right now. But I wouldn't say I'm finding it hard to read. I just don't feel like I'm taking it in as much as I should. I would kind of say that I maybe should read this at another time when I have more time to take it in, but I don't really know how much it would help with this one. It just feels like it's kind of one of those books, but maybe I will reread it at some point when I have more time to read it. But I am enjoying it. It's just a bit of a strange one at the moment. So that's my reading update. My plan is to try and finish that tonight, and then I can move on to my July TBR tomorrow. I have a couple of days off now, so I'm going to film some book stuff, edit some videos, and hopefully do some reading and start some more books. But also I received some books today, so I'm going to tell you about those. So the first one I bought from work today was 6 Crimson Cranes by Elizabeth Lim. So So this is a new release by the author of Spin the Dawn and Unravel the Dusk. I just couldn't resist this cover. My colleague Jo had a copy on order and I saw it and I wanted it. So I also ordered myself a copy, and then one arrived in our delivery, so I just bought that one instead. I think Amy, who I also work with, is going to buy the copy that I ordered so we can actually buddy read this together, which would be really exciting. So yeah, I've not read Spin the Dawn, but I've heard really good things and I really want to read it. And I've heard good things about this. I know it's quite an anticipated release for a lot of people. I don't know too much about it. I think it's a retelling of a myth or a fairy tale called The Six Swans, but I might be wrong about that. I just read that somewhere earlier. So I think this is an adult fantasy, as it's been blurbed by Stephanie Garber, Kristen Cushaw and Kerry Maniscalco, and it says on the back, a princess in exile, a shape-shifting dragon, 6 enchanted cranes, an unspeakable curse. It will take more than magic to find their way home. And it says in the front that there is a princess with forbidden magic, and on her wedding day she loses control of this magic, and in return for that, her stepmother, who is a sorceress, banishes the young princess and turns her brothers into cranes, and she spends the remainder of the book trying to find her brothers and uncovers a dark conspiracy to seize the throne. She must place her trust in a paper bird, a dragon, and the very boy she fought so hard not to marry, and she must embrace the magic she's been taught all of her life to contain, no matter what it costs, in order to set the kingdom to rights. So yeah, this one sounds really good and I just couldn't resist this cover. This spine is beautiful, the back is so pretty, and also under the dust jacket, this spine is just absolutely beautiful. So yeah, I couldn't resist buying this one. I just really wanted it. Had some money on my Waterstones card as well, which I treated myself to this one with. I also received a proof copy of This Poison Heart by Kaylin Bayron, so thank you to Bloomsbury for sending me this limited edition proof copy. And I just read Cinderella is Dead and I really enjoyed it. I found it a nice, fast-paced retelling with characters that I really liked and themes that I really liked reading about, so I'm very excited to read this one. It is also a retelling, kind of a dark retelling of this Secret Garden, which is really exciting to me. I only read The Secret Garden this year but really liked it, and I've thought a lot about it and watched some adaptations and things and have some interesting opinions on it, so I really wanted to read this one. And this was following a girl called Bree who can grow plants out of her fingertips, and then she finds an old house. I think she inherits an old house, and she starts to test her powers by trying to create this garden and create these flowers and plants in the old house and bringing it back to life. And then she also finds that there's a dark legacy waiting for her, and she finds that she has generations of secrets, and her long departed ancestors won't let her rest until she finds what this legacy is, I think. So yeah, I'm very excited to read this one. As I said, I really liked Cinderella is Dead, so I was very excited to receive this one. I also got Vengeful by V. Schwab, which my friend Amy very kindly bought for me because we were struggling to find a copy, and then she managed to find this one for me. This is matching my copy of Vicious, which I really like these covers, and I wanted these covers, but they're quite, well, this one's quite hard to get, weirdly. Has these really nice end papers and this under the dust jacket, which is kind of why I wanted it, because it matches my copies of Addie LaRue and the Dark Shade of Magic series. So yeah, I really like these covers. I think me and Alex might be buddy reading this series later in the year, so I'm glad to finally have both of the books. The last thing I got is also a V. Schwab book, and that is The Dark Vault. I was just looking for a copy of this and I ended up finding this cover, which I didn't actually know existed, and I thought it really matched my copies of The Savage Song and Our Dark Duet, so I bought it. I didn't actually buy it, Mark bought this for me because we were having a discussion about how weird it is that this kind of really matches the cover of this one, and the lettering is kind of similar but they're by completely different publishers. And I also wanted to see whether the height would be the same and the size would be the same. This kind of is to inspire a video that I want to do on my channel, which I won't tell you what it is at the moment. But yeah, Mark bought this for me because we found one quite cheap secondhand online, and I just wanted to see what it was like in person mainly. I like the UK cover, but I also really like this one. And weirdly, this one is listed as 1mm by 1mm on every website, so there's not been a size published for it, which is really odd. So I bought it. I'm sorry to confirm that it doesn't actually match. It's slightly taller than my copy of this Savage Song, but it's to be expected, it's a different publisher. But then the weird thing is, it matches the height difference. The height is the same as my copy of Our Dark Duet, which I've actually bought a replacement so that it matched the height of this one. So this is all an absolute mess. But it's kind of cool to see. I'm not really bothered about this one being taller because it looks different on the spine and it's a different publisher. But I did want my copy of this Savage Song and Our Dark Duet to match, so I have bought a replacement. But yeah, this is just all strange, but at least I have a copy of that book now. So thank you to Mark for buying me that copy. I'm going to tell him about the height difference in a minute now I've unwrapped it. But yeah, that's my update for Wednesday. I will update you probably tomorrow with how I'm doing, and hopefully I'll have finished Thursday by then. But yeah, I have the next couple of days off, so I'm going to focus on more booktube stuff and blog stuff and reading and things like that, so hopefully I'll be able to keep on top of updating you a bit more. Sorry I've been so crap in the past couple of days, but I have been really busy. Life has been really busy, and I hope you enjoyed this little segment in the middle of my vlog with a sit down, a cup of tea chat, and yeah, I will update you tomorrow. Good morning! It's almost 11 AM on Thursday morning. It is July 1st. Welcome July, everybody. I thought I'd give you a quick update on my reading and also about my vaccine. As you know, I had my vaccine at about 6:30 PM last night. I just thought I'd give you a little bit of an update on how I've been feeling since then. I had the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine and I honestly feel fine. I started having a bit of aching in my arm at around 8:30 PM last night, so around 2 hours after my vaccine was actually administered. And yeah, I just have a bit of swelling and a bit of an ache in my arm, especially if like I lift it up or anything. I can just feel that. But it's nothing bad, it doesn't really hurt, it's just a little bit of an ache. It's exactly how I felt when I had my tetanus booster years ago, so it's the same as any other vaccine really, just a bit of an ache in my arm. I felt very tired this morning, but obviously with the nature of this week, I am not surprised, and I don't really think that is linked to my vaccine. It very well could be, but I think I would be feeling tired anyway, so I'm not really worried about that. Other than that, I feel absolutely fine, I have enough energy, don't have a temperature, anything like that, so yeah, so that's my little update about how I'm feeling with my vaccine the morning afterwards. And then I have a bit of a reading update. I stayed up till gone 1 AM to finish this, and it was a slog. I was tired, I was falling asleep anyway, and then to try and get through the last like 100 pages of this, I was finding it hard. I have very mixed feelings about this. My feelings are quite similar to how I found Wuthering Heights weirdly, which I also read earlier last month, because I found some scenes really, really good and really vivid and I really took them in, and then I found other scenes I just dozed out, whatever the word is for it, completely didn't take in any of the information. And I don't really know why or how I can rectify that. I don't know if it's because I was rushing through it thing, and if I sat down and read this in maybe like 20-page intervals it would be any different. I honestly don't really know whether that's the case or not, because I feel like I wouldn't feel that much different even if I did read this over a longer period of time. It just feels like that kind of book. I really liked the themes of this. I think the other thing worth mentioning, and I was talking to my colleague about this as well yesterday, is that I do not have a great understanding of Greek mythology. so I think that probably doesn't help my case. I think I would like to reread this over a longer period of time just to see how different that is, but also when I know a little bit more about Greek mythology, whether that'd be from reading other books or reading the myths themselves or reading non-fiction about it. I have a book called Pandora's Jar, which is a collection of, I think it's a collection of like outlines of all of the Greek myths, I think. But yeah, probably something like that might help. I definitely want to read that soon and then kind of dive back into Greek mythology literature like this one. So yeah, I don't know how much that helped, but I do also want to say I really liked the kind of strong female character that we had in Cersei, and I thought that she was really well written. I loved her independence throughout this book, and that ended up being one of my favourite themes. So yeah, I think I'll give this one 3 out of 5 stars for now, which is quite a good rating, I think. Anything 3 and up for me I liked. So I did still like this, but yeah, not a favourite. Definitely didn't like it as much as I wanted to, considering I know a few people who really like this. And I read it because it was Ashley from A Frolic Through Fictions, one of her favourites on her favourite list for whatever-thon. So yeah, but I'm glad I read it. I honestly don't know what I'm going to read next. It's July, I'm like, I can read something new. I do have a July TBR, which was picked by me on my TBR game video, which you may have seen from late last month. If you want to go and watch this, I will link it down below. It was a mini golf TBR game, which I'm going to be carrying on my channel, and I picked some books. I'll show you which books I picked. We'll have a look. So I picked 7 books from this TBR game. The Weathering With You manga volume 1 and The Great Gatsby was for the shortest book, purely because I didn't know whether Mark wanted to buddy read this with me this month. I knew he wanted to buddy read it, but I didn't know when. So we are going to read this, but I'm also just going to read this manga because I do really want to. And it's really short. I might read this today just to kick off the month with like a nice head start. And then me and Mark will read Great Gatsby at some point. Then I have The Last Beginning by Lauren James, which I might read soon. I think I might start this one after Weathering With You. This is the 2nd book in the Next Together series. This is my last book by Lauren James that I haven't read, and I'm not too worried about starting it because it is set, I think, around focusing on the children of the people in the Next Together, so it's not really linked. I'm just going to start reading it and see how I feel about it. Considering I haven't read The Next Together in a lot of years. And then we have Written in the Stars by Aisha Saeed. This one's been on my TBR for a while and I do want to read it, and Mark wanted me to read this for whatever-thon and it didn't get picked in the poll, so I thought it'd be nice to include this one in here. This one also has nice big text and is not the longest book in the world, so I might read this one quite soon actually, I think. And then I have The 24-Hour Cafe by Libby Page. Again, this one has quite big text. It is quite thick, I think it's about 400 pages. But this is by the author of The Lido, and I absolutely loved The Lido, so I am looking forward to reading this one, but my mom read it and didn't enjoy it as much as The Lido, so I'm also a bit hesitant. And then we have Lore by Alexandra Bracken, so again another Greek mythology retelling, but this is YA, which is the major difference between Cersei and Lore. I've heard really mixed things about this, so I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to get on with it. But we'll see. I think I'm going to take a break for now. I need some easy reads, so I might read that one later in the month. And then last but not least, we have The Maze Runner by James Dashner. I just really need to get to this one. I want to get them off my shelves. I don't think I'm going to love them. I think I'll feel similar to them as I felt about Divergent, so they were kind of middling. But yeah, I'm gonna probably save this till last and then try and carry on with the series once I've read it. So that's my July TBR. As I said, I think I'm gonna read Weathering With You first, and then probably pick up The Last Beginning, and see how we go from there. So I'll probably update you later or tomorrow with what I'm reading. Just about to film my June wrap up, and I stacked all the books that I read in June up like this. I'm surprised that they're holding, honestly. But yeah, I'm quite proud of myself putting it like this in a massive stack. I'm honestly quite happy with all of this. It's gonna be a long video. I'm gonna go and film it. I have a lot of videos to film today and a lot of blog stuff to do, but yeah. It's one of those days, I'm excited, I'm really enjoying it, so let's go! Hi everyone, it's Friday evening. I just thought I'd give you a quick update on what I've been reading. I haven't actually read all that much, but I did read Weathering with You last night, as was my plan, and I really liked this. It gives a little bit of insight to the film that isn't in the film. It gives a little bit of a different perspective, and there was a few things in there that were slightly different to the film, just like pieces of dialogue and stuff, just very trivial things, but I really liked that it gave me that different perspective. Because I have watched the film a couple of times, so it was nice to have a little bit of a different one. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. This is the first volume of the manga, which is inspired by the Weathering with You film by Makoto Shinkai. So the story of this is by Makoto Shinkai, and the art was by Wataru Kubota. I love the art style, it suits the manga really, really well, and I read this one in just about half an hour. It also has a nice couple of pages at the start that are in like full gloss and colour, which I really liked, and the rest is just on normal manga book paper. But yeah, I really liked this one. I'm really glad that I kicked off my reading month with it, because I hadn't read anything by like midnight last night and I wanted to read something. So I read this one, which only took me like half an hour, so that was nice. And then I have actually started a Far Love Story today on audiobook, which I'm glad that it's available to me on Scribd. I've read nearly 100 pages on there so far, and I'm really, really enjoying this already. It is a dual perspective narrative, and has different narrators for each of the characters, and I really like how it flicks back and forth between them. This is about two characters who have their families have rival pho restaurants, and they're the children of these families who have a kind of rivalry between each other, and it's kind of dramatic, but I really like it. And they end up kind of getting to know each other outside of their families, and try and hide it from their families, and it's really sweet so far, and I love all the food descriptions in there. And I would highly recommend listening to the audiobooks. I really like the narrators, and also having the correct pronunciations for things is really helpful, because I would definitely not read them correctly, so it's nice to have the correct pronunciations on the audiobook for everything. I'm also thinking of starting The Great Gatsby tonight, because I think me and Mark are going to start buddy reading that one very soon, and I want to start The Last Beginning at some point, maybe over the next couple of days. So yeah, chaotic. I've got a few book reviews to write, and I want to write a quick review for this one as well. Still, because I'm on a bit of a backlog, and then I'll carry on reading this on audiobook tomorrow, and I will update you then. Hi, it's Saturday. As you can probably tell, I cut my fringe because it was very much getting annoying and in the way. So I just got a bit fed up with it and cut it myself. Anyway, I have some updates for you. I've been at work today. I also started 2 more books. So I started The Great Gatsby last night. Don't have too much to say about this because I'm only 1 chapter in, and 26 pages in, but there was a really, really beautiful quote in here. On page 11, but also page 3 from the start of the actual chapter, that said, "And so with the sunshine and the great bursts of leaves growing on the trees, just as things grow in fast movies, I had that familiar conviction that life was beginning over again with the summer," which I thought was really, really pretty. The writing in this is really nice, and also I'm finding it quite accessible for a classic, which I like. And yeah, I'm intrigued to see where this goes. But yeah, I don't have too many opinions right now because I'm only 1 chapter in. I also started The Last Beginning by Lauren James. I am literally only about 10 pages into this, or 15 pages in so far. I just read a little bit on my break earlier, but I'm already feeling like I definitely don't need to look up what happened in the next together, because this is following the characters from the Next Together's child, but it is also 16 years on, so I don't need to really worry about that. It also kind of explains what happened in it partly anyway. So yeah, this, I don't really know too much about it, but it does follow the main character Clove trying to find out what happened to her parents, because they apparently vanished without a trace. I believe that must have happened after the events of the Next Together, and we're trying to uncover the mystery. But also I don't remember what happened in the Next Together, so who knows. But yeah, I'm looking forward to reading more of this one. I'm also still reading a Far Love Story and really enjoying it. My bookmark needs to move because I am on chapter 20 now, not chapter 13. And I really like the characters in this so much. They are so cute, and some of the scenes together are just really cute. And also I feel like it's very authentic as well. Like their relationship seems quite authentic in the way they're kind of getting to know each other, which is really nice to read about. I always like when you can genuinely feel that the characters are interested in each other and are getting along well. Also love the Vietnamese culture and food and stuff in here, and they went to a Japanese restaurant which was also really cute. And the descriptions of the food are so good, and I love reading about the food in here. I'm listening to this one on audiobook and really enjoying the audiobook. I'm also finding that I just want to read it all the time, and I'm having to not do that because I want to try and read it all on audiobook. So I'm not picking up the physical version, but I do want to read it a lot. I also have some updates on post and stuff that I got. So I bought a book at work today. I bought A Kind of Spark by Elle McNichol. This is the new cover because Elle won the Children's Book Prize, the Waterstones Children's Book Prize. The overall winner was A Kind of Spark. I read Show Us Who You Are in June and absolutely loved it and gave it 5 stars, but I never actually read Elle's original book. I wasn't a massive fan of the colours on the cover before. It was very bright pink and yellow with not foiling, just like white lettering, and I think this one looks so much prettier. I also nabbed a signed book plate as well, which is exciting, and yeah, I'm just very happy to have this one, and I definitely want to read it very soon. This one follows a girl called Addie who also has autism, and I think a lot of this kind of follows her thought processes and how she's thinking and stuff, but also it follows her, she finds out about the witch trials that happened in her hometown. So she knows that there is more to the story of the witches, just like there is more to her than people think there is. So as Addie tries to get her small town to make a memorial for the witches, can she challenge the way that they also see her? This sounds like it's going to be really sweet, and I've heard nothing but good things about this. It's also a Waterstones Children's Book of the Month, so go and get this edition. It is out now and it's so pretty, and it won the Children's Book Prize, so big congratulations to Elle for that. I also have some mail. I have something that is not book related that I'm going to show you without trying to not show you my address, that has some Animal Crossing stuff on here. I know what this is. I'm very excited for it. It's taken a while to get here. Me and Mark both bought these, and we've both been very excited waiting for them to come. Oh, it came with like a really cute note card as well. This is from Mina Crossing on Etsy. If you want to go and follow her, she's also on Twitter and Instagram. See if I can get into this. So this is a tote bag that says "Keep the Sea Plastic Free, Man," and has Pascal from the Animal Crossing series on it. I thought that would be a cute thing to show you, even though it's not book related. And then I have some post, which I actually don't know what this is, so we're just going to open it and find out, but it feels like a book. I'm pretty sure it's a book. Okay, so this is Dolly Alderton's Ghosts, which makes a lot of sense. I was wondering if it was an unsolicited proof because I couldn't remember what I had requested, but I'm on the blog tour for this in July. It is July. I'm in the blog tour for this very soon. So yeah, they're sending me out a proof because of that. As far as I know, this is about a woman who is in her 30s, has a successful career, but is seeing a lot of her people, like her friends around her getting married and things like that. And I think she's feeling like she's a bit behind in all of that. And then she meets Max, apparently, who tells her on date 1 that he's going to marry her. But what seems like an exciting new development will ensure this year is Nina's strangest yet. So yeah, I'm excited to read this one very soon. So thank you to Penguin for sending me this one. I'm going to be a part of the blog tour for that. And then I have this very big parcel which I thought we should unwrap together from Hachette, because it's the Hachette Waterstones Roadshow on Tuesday, which I'm also a part of, just a viewing part of, and I applied for a ticket and a party pack, which I think is what this is. I have no idea what is in here, but of course it is a virtual event this year, on Zoom, so I'm presuming this is something to do with that, and it's very heavy, so I'm excited to see what's in here. Okay, we're in. I'm not going to tell you everything about these books because there is a lot in here, but the first one in here is A Proof of Afterlove by Tanya Byrne, which I'm so excited to read, and I think I may have actually pre-ordered a copy, but oh my god, it's very exciting to have a proof of this. This one I think is about 2 girls. It's a sapphic romance, and I think it is about one of them dying and the other one trying to kind of bring her back or see her in some way. So yeah, I do know about that one already a little bit, so we'll tell you a bit about that one. Then we have some proper corn, sweet and salty. Pretty sure I can eat this as well, which is nice. And some candy kittens, which I can also eat because they're vegan. Some mango ones. I love the mango ones. And then there is a lot of books in here. There is Catch Your Breath, which is the secret life of a sleepless anesthetist. But yeah, this is apparently strictly embargoed until the 26th of August. It is a gut punch of a memoir by a doctor and comedian whose job is to keep people alive by putting them to sleep. Sounds interesting. And then we have this very, very pretty Storyland, A New Mythology of Britain by Amy Jeffs. I love this cover. Retelling of medieval tales of legend, landscape and the yearning to belong, inhabited with characters now half remembered. So it says it's soaked in mist and old magic. Storyland is a new illustrated mythology of Britain set in its wildest landscapes. So that sounds really interesting. And then, the box is about to fall off the bed, we have The Turnout by Megan Abbott. So I'm going to say this is a thriller, but I actually don't know anything about it, but that's The Turnout by Megan Abbott, and it comes out on the 6th of July. And then we have What Muslims and Non-Muslims Get Wrong About Each Other. That sounds really interesting. I want to read more non-fiction, so definitely want to pick this one up as well. That sounds really interesting. So it says in the front, the author grew up in a working class Pakistani Muslim family in Luton, where he was raised to believe that they were different, they had an alien culture and they would never accept him, they were white people. So yeah, this sounds really interesting. It sounds like the relationship between non-Muslim and Muslim people in Britain. So yeah, this will be absolutely fascinating to read. I'm looking forward to adding that to my non-fiction shelf. There is a lot of books in here. Thank you so much, Hachette, this is amazing. Then we have Other People's Clothes by Kala Henkel. I think I pronounced that right. Which says, trying to find an actual synopsis for you. It's about 2 art students who have arrived from New York in Berlin in 2009, desperate for the city to solve their problems. It's intoxicating, compulsive and blackly funny, a thrilling debut novel from Berlin-based American artists. So that sounds interesting. Sounds like fiction. And that is out on July 8th. And then we have Everyone is Still Alive by Kathy Rentzenbrick. I think I pronounced that okay. This one has a blurb on the front by Kit Duvall, which is interesting. I So I think this is also a fiction as well. And yeah, it's also blurbed by Marion Keyes and a few other authors. And it says it's a witty, moving debut novel from the Sunday Times best-selling author, exploring the deeper realities of marriage, parenthood, and the way life thwarts our expectations. That one comes out in July as well. I'm not sure the date of that, 8th of July. And then last but not least, we have Phil Wang's book. I love Phil Wang, he's so funny. This is Side Splitter, How to Be from Two Worlds at Once. Wow, this is interesting. So it says, where are you really from? Phil Wang has been asked this question so many times he's finally written a book about it. In this mix of comic memoir and observational essay, one of the UK's most exciting stand-up comedians reflects on his experiences as a Eurasian man in the West and in the East. Wow, this sounds really interesting. I love Phil Wang as a comedian, so it's really interesting that he has written a book, especially about this kind of thing. Very interesting to read about this. I love this proof copy as well, and this one doesn't come out until September. So, wow, Hachette, this is amazing. Thank you so much for this massive haul. There are some books in here that I would have never picked up myself, but honestly I'm super excited to read now. So this is a brilliant parcel. I'm very looking forward to reading some of these, especially After Love and this one. And this one also sounds really interesting, Storyland, and this one sounds really interesting, and so does this one as well. There is so many in here that, yeah, I can't wait to pick up and add to my TBR, so thank you to Hachette. I'm very excited for Tuesday for the roadshow as well, which will probably be in my next vlog, and I'll tell you about that one. So yeah, this is the end of my section. Sorry, this has been very long and rambly for today, but I did want to unbox this big parcel. So I will probably speak to you tomorrow to wrap up this vlog. Hi everyone, it's Sunday morning and I thought I'd just give you a quick update and wrap up this vlog because I'm about to go to work and it's the end of the week. So I haven't read too much since I last spoke to you. I'm now about 40 pages into this, 50 pages into this, and I am really enjoying it so far. The only thing is it does read quite young, but it has been years since I read The Next Together, as I said. Just the main character Clove feels quite young, and her friends and stuff, and the way that she talks about other people feels quite young. But I am still really enjoying this, and I can tell that it's going to be very fast-paced and very easy to read, because yeah, I'm already 50 pages in and it feels like I read about 20, so it's definitely going to be an easy one to read. I'm also about 40 pages into The Great Gatsby, a completely different book, but this is very, very short, so I'm a good chunk of the way through already, I think about a third of the way through. And this is a really weird one. There's been some kind of discussion of women that I really, really don't like. Like, I find a lot of the comments about women and beauty very objectifying, and when there is a woman in the room, they will literally just mention how she looks, and that's it. But I guess in a way it is a novel of its time, but I don't really like using that as an excuse. The other thing is I just found it really weird because this is a male author. The amount that is written about like really, really niche things like the shaping and shading of women's eyebrows, I was just a bit like, that's a really weird thing for somebody to notice, let alone for a male author to notice. But other than that, I really like the atmosphere of this. I'm finding the writing really accessible for, this is 1925, I think that this was published. But I am finding it, yeah, quite easy to read and quite easy to get into, so that's good. And yeah, the writing feels quite modern actually, which I like, so I love this cover so much, I love it. And I haven't read any more of A Foul Love Story, but I will be reading more of it today. I'm getting through this quite quickly on audio, so I'll probably be over halfway through this by the end of the day because I've got some driving ahead of me, and I'll be carrying on with this one throughout the week on audiobook, and very much enjoying it. So those are my reading updates for now. Sorry, this has been a very short update and end to the vlog because I haven't read that much, but I am starting a few buddy reads tomorrow, so I will be reading more books in the next vlog. I'm sorry if this vlog has been a bit short, a bit crap. It's been a weird week to start a new vlog, to start doing weekly vlogs permanently, because of my new job, which obviously is going to continue, but hopefully I'll settle down into a bit of a routine with it and be able to adjust my reading and adjust myself around that, because at the moment it is a bit difficult for me to kind of get my head around what's going on, and I'm still feeling low-key stressed about everything at the moment, which obviously isn't helping, and I definitely see some easier reads in my future. But yeah, that's kind of the end of this weekly vlog, so I hope it hasn't been too bad, because I feel like I've been really bad at vlogging this week, but I hope you enjoyed it anyway. If you did, then please give it a thumbs up and comment down below and subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this. All of my links to my blog and my shop and everything like that are in the description, and I will see you next time in another video. Bye.